Well, a very good morning. Welcome to KUTV Rise Today. Hapa leo tumeamua kufanya in a very good way, in a very beautiful way, an interview with two amazing, arts. Watu Kiswahili tunasema wasanii wa sanaa ambao basi watakuwa wanatuambia mengi kuhusu their art, na pia there's an event coming up, but of course I hope that your morning is fine. Welcome to KUTV. Remember that KUTV Rise Today iko live in all social media platforms, so let me just get right on it. Tuanze na basic introduction. Tuko na Purity na pia tuko na Faith. Tuanze na Faith. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Kwa majina naitwa Faith Karimi Mudhoni. I am an all-round artist. I sing, I act, I dance. The only thing I don't do is paint or draw. Hapo ndio nimeka kikomo, but most importantly, I'm my mother's daughter.
Oh, wow. A shout out to your mom.
Yes, to your mom.
Paka leo umefika hapa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Karibu tena sana. Twende kwa Purity. Purity, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Usually when people call me Purity, najua ni people I've met before 2017. My name is Purity Moraa Mengwa, but I go by Moraa.
Moraa?
So I prefer Moraa.
You prefer Moraa? Sawa, I'll call you Moraa.
Performing artist. So any form of performance on stage, whether it's acting, just like Karimi. So any form of acting, poetry, spoken word, music, singing. So mostly actually people know me more of a singer, as a musician, and as a songwriter as well. Yeah. So that's what I do. I was in KU drama team as well, so quite the rich history with this institution, and I'm very proud to say that. And I've always been an artist since I can remember. I'm carrying class 3 or class 2 or something, just standing on the parade saying a poem or something, ukimwi ugonjwa mbaya. Do you remember that poem? Yeah, yeah. So since back in the day, I've always been an artist, and I think it's art has always found me. Nenda hivi, werudi hapa kind of thing. So it's been exciting throughout this journey as an artist. Yeah.
But umesema umetoka ulianzia hapa KU. Yani for the viewers, maybe just tell us, now take our mic juu kidogo.
Okay, sure.
Then for the viewers utatuambia maybe art, kujuggle art na masomo, and how did you find your breakthrough in Kenyatta University?
Well, one thing is, with KU, there's opportunity. If you want to be part of it, you will be part of it. There's no gatekeeping, or so the directors, the production team, they were very open to everyone. And I joined in like first year, so it's not like I had to know people to join. So I love that about the drama team. It was very open and people are willing to share and train and direct you until they refine you to be the best. You understand? So I feel like I got lucky with that one, and so are most of the artists within the institution. Or if you have interest, I mean, just enda utafuta Derek Wasua pale, mwambie nataka kujoin drama. As easy as that. Go for the auditions. Yeah.
Umesikia, yani if you really have interest, number 2, enda pale, hakuna discrimination ati wanasema really need to know people ndo upate chance. Tukuje kwa Faith sasa. Faith umesema wewe you can do almost every art lakini huwezi paint. Just tell us a little bit about unaweza trace. It is a count. Well, just tell us a little bit venye ulianzia art paka ukatoka ukiwa mdogo paka ukafikiria age yenye una feel mimi ni msanii, niko na hiyo confidence niweza bamba watu.
Okay, nilikuwa na confidence kutoka utotoni. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. But anyway, I started art when I was young, nikiwa primary. I think that's where most of us actually loved the art. Drama, music festivals. Actually, there was a time my mom used to write for me poems to perform during she's a retired forester, so she used to write for me poems to perform during like tree planting ceremonies and things like that. So I fell in love with art at a very young age. Got into high school, got into it was amazing, loved it. Got into campus, and then I met this amazing group of people. Igiza Arts Production, that's actually my current production that I work with. And I just started off with, I was actually replacing someone who wasn't available for a certain role. And that's how I started in Igiza. That was actually their first production as Igiza outside of JKUAT. I went to JKUAT, the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Anyway.
lazima utag.
Yes. So from that tuliendelea, but I stopped for a while, third year, fourth year. I was trying to concentrate on my books, but that's neither here nor there. And then till date now I'm still with Igiza and
just before tutoke kidogo kwa art tuingie hapo kwa masomo na vita, na sanaa. Sasa umetuambia uliacha tadia kidogo focus na nini, and this is a problem that many artists especially in campus wanapitia, because lazima waangalie kuna masomo kidogo ukifocus na kwenda nje sana utapata retake, utafanya cut, as in ni kitu yenye inaumiza watu kichwa. Maybe you can just give them siri je ulitumia
siri yenye nilitumia. Niko na siri kweli. But for me, actually, the reason I took a break, it wasn't because I was struggling to juggle the two. I just felt like it was ilikuwa imefika place where I was doing it just because of doing it, not because I was loving it or enjoying it. So that break for me was to actually fall back in love with the art, so that it's not just about money or fun. So like that break for me was to actually come back to loving it, to reflect back on why I started doing it. So it just happened to be I was in third year and I was like, well, now that I'm taking this break, wacha tu nimalize pia masomo once, and then now I got a job in 2021 after graduation. And then I was like, okay, now that also they moved. They stopped performing in Juja mostly. And sasa tukaanza perform Kenya National Theatre. So I was like, rehearsals ziko town. I'm always in town. I work in town. I'm like, why not go back? I'm like, that's how I went back. And then now, I want to say that I'm a full-time artist.
Uliacha kidogo kazi. So art ndo kazi.
Art ndo kazi sasa.
So maybe your experience na sanaa. Which are those moments zenye like ushai maybe act ama ushai do art ukafeel enyewe hapa nimefika, this is a breakthrough, this is where I wanted to be?
When strangers were coming up to me after a performance and they were telling me, oh my God, we felt you. Mtu akikwambia we felt you na uko stage na yeye ako kwa audience, that's like unalala na viatu yourself. So that's the time I knew that yes, what I'm doing is actually right.
Sasa tukuze kwa Moraa. Moraa ni fan wako. Amefika hapa na
I am because it's not every day that you meet artists that actually connect with the audience like that. For me, art is just beyond you being on stage. It's the connection you're having with people. I'm a psychologist as well. Actually, that's what I did in K. I didn't do arts, but I've always been an artist, So also just combining your knowledge, your psychology, and understanding people. Because art, at the end of the day, I think it's one of the first crafts as human beings. Cave paint, drawings, and what? Literally. So ilikuwa mtu anaenda ana hunt ama na gather or whatever and then they come paint. Do you know how cool that is? So if you really think about it, art has always been with us as human beings, and so we have that emotional connection to it. And so you are stage and then somebody's telling you like, hey, I felt what you did, that's it. Like that's it. Like, your song made me feel something. Your poetry, that's it.
So tuingie bado kwa performance, like kwa Faith amesema ile ameperform alafu mtu ana feel performance paka anamfuata anamwambia you did a great work. Kwako what was it that yani ilikufanya paka ukafeel yenyewe I'm on the right track na people are actually appreciating my craft?
Okay, for me there's that where it's not necessarily about the appreciation part exactly. Yes, that's great, but also just the connection that person is having. Kama seme hii song ili change life yangu. Nilikuwa in a depressive state and this is what this did for me or for my family or for my friend, or just a good jam and I can send it to my friend, they feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but also, I don't know, there's this animation called Soul. It's it's really shaped how I view artistry as well. And kwa Soul, the main character, when they play the instrument, I'm not sure, was it a piano or
It was
a piano, yeah? So when they played the piano, it's like they got into this trance flow state. And it was like another place, another universe. It's like some sort of meditation as well. So mini kiimba, mini kasiko, like I'm gone, like I'm just, it's just me and the music and it's just my world. That's how it feels. And I don't know if you relate,
I do.
Karin's,
I do.
but it's,
Yeah.
whether you're on stage and you
or
perform
even
poetry,
at a bafu.
it doesn't matter where you are. It's just you and the music in that moment and nothing else matters. And for me, that moment, you know, saying we're living in a very fast-paced world. We are always on our phones. We're always moving around. So when you get that moment with yourself, and it's like you're thinking about not one thing. It's just you and the music. That's very special for me, and that is what music has done for me. And I feel like if someone is hearing me, they, to some extent, they get into that world with me. That's it.
Okay. So tukuje most artists probably wakiangalia wanafanya, you know, their songs, their craft for, you know, social media, tuseme pale YouTube and other music distribution companies. So mostly mtu wako pale anaangalia, tukiangalia master wa Kenya, they have those numbers. So for an upcoming artist kwake ana feel and do it for the numbers, but sasa wewe you don't inaka kama you don't do it for the numbers as such, but you do it for, you know, the feeling, you know, the music has to get into you. So tell us the difference between, you know, setting the goal on music as it is and then setting the goal on numbers. Ama you do both?
I think how I'm interpreting the question you've just asked is there's music as the craft and music business, right? And so there's a challenge in one of them. As a craft, I think we've just talked about it, as you know, the feeling, me ikiwa mtu moja ama tu thao ama tu chwani, I will still perform the way I would do it. It doesn't matter. You understand? Because there's the love for the craft. But also, one of the biggest challenges I have had as an artist myself, and I think a lot of other artists relate to me, the fact that you still have to pay bills. You understand? Hautaimbia nani anakujanga kuchukua rent, landlord. Hautaimbia landlord mkai mwezi, you know what I'm saying? So you have to make the money, honey, you know? Navigating it, and I think also branding yourself. One thing I'm loving is that art is being embraced. That is one. Number two, there's a lot of financial literacy for artists. Part of I4 has something going on, rolling basis, and I think artists should apply for it. So that aspect of financial literacy and also trying to navigate that world is also very important, because each of them have to coexist. There's a conversation I was having with my friends, and they were asking, who is the most paid artist in Kenya? At our live CBN. I was so shocked. It's some guy who does country music and somebody. So this guy, I don't think I would say numbers, but he makes the money. So I think also connection to the audience and your networks and just making good music at the end of the day will get you numbers. If you do, people go where value is. I would like to believe. That's how I view it. So if you create that value for your craft and you master your craft to vizuri, the numbers will come, because people want to be associated with something good. I would like to believe. So, but also ni journey. Pia bien, all these great artists that we are having, Kina Yani, and all the any artist in the world started from somewhere. 10 people had to listen and go like, oh, I like that. 20. Then those 20 told 50, and then it just grew, and somehow they are where they are. So I believe it's a journey. And Uki take those steps, you understand the whole process and you understand the struggle. I think it doesn't have to be a struggling thing, but what I'm saying is it is a process. You have to go through that process. So personally, I'm not in a rush to get the numbers. I'm like, itafika eventually.
Sawa.
You know. Yeah.
Sawa, tukuje kwa Faith. Sasa Faith, tumeongea kuhusu the journey. Wasanii, you know, kuna the journey, uamki leo and then you become a star the next day. So tell us in your craft sasa, how has it been the journey, and maybe some of the challenges zenye wasanii upitia in the journey?
Am I the right person to answer this question?
Wewe kama msanii,
I don't,
in your area, just in your area, you don't have to generalize it.
For me, art is not, I'm not doing it for people. I do not do art for people. I don't think, like, if I get a paying gig, well and good. But for me, art is personal. For me, even the singing is personal. Okay, the dancing is probably for entertainment. But it's not like a monetary, I'm not putting, actually most of the things I do, I don't put like a monetary, I'm not like, at the end of this, to get like, yeah. No. I do it for personal gain, personal satisfaction, and my mental health. But one of the challenges I can say that artists go through is trying to balance between the art and the money, actually. Like, because when you're producing the art, you have to think about audience when you utapata to come and see this art. And you also have to market it yourself. Kama hauna budget, that is. You have to market it yourself to actually reach these people. So trying to balance to give people a good, wonderful show and selling the show at the same time, because marketing is hard. It's not as simple as people think. So trying to balance that is also, it's a challenge.
Okay.
I can say that's one of the biggest challenges.
Sawa. So let's talk about the show sasa yenye inakuja. Tuko na, that's the biggest gig ina come through. So just a little bit about it.
Autopilot experience. An experience like no other. Actually, I've never performed anything like this before, because it's incorporating very many aspects of art. There's music, there's acting, there's poetry. There's going to be a band, there's going to be an ensemble, like we're going to be vocalists, but she's going to perform for us. She's really good, by the way. She's amazing. It's going to be an experience. Kama tu venye inasema autopilot experience. So we're trying to express art in a different form. It's a way that bado sijaona watu waki express art, wacha tuseme. Itakuwa
mna express in a different way.
In a different way.
Very different.
In a different
in a new way.
In a new way. In a new way. And in an interesting way.
In an interesting way.
Kitu yenye itakukipontoz, you want to know what's going to come next. Juu hata sisi hatujui. But in a good way. In a good way. In a good way. Hata sisi we are like, let's wait for the surprise. Yeah.
So pale autopilot, pale Carnival on
Simba
18th
Saloon.
of October this year. Wanasema itafanyika Simba Saloon hapo Carnival. Just tell us wewe kama umeprepare nini kwa mafans wako pale.
Mimi si wa show kamini.
Wanunue tickets.
Do not tickets. Come for the show. Come for the show. But
where can they get the tickets?
Is it
Sold Out Africa?
Sold Out Africa.
Yeah.
Sold Out Africa. The post, check out our socials, Instagram especially. There's content there about the show. There's posters. There's everything you would need to know about the show. Autopilot experience, tone tenors.
Tone tenors on social media platforms.
On social media platforms,
Or Karim's on social media platforms.
Or Moraa Music Official as well, so you can find details hapo.
So just tell us how different will it be from any other show?
Nothing you have ever seen
or
ever,
experienced
ever. That's as much as I want to say for now. I want you to be curious enough to say I actually want to go for that show. You know, because it's something you will think about after and for the rest of your life. You'll go like, there's this show I attended and oh my goodness, everyone needs to. And after that you'll come for every other. I promise you.
You'll feel the need to
that's a guarantee with cashback. If you do not enjoy Kujoni and Moraa, cashback but I assure you, you will.
Yeah.
I know you will.
Lazima watabambika sana.
Yeah.
Na umesema pale uko na a piece of poetry yenye unataka dokezea
maybe a
kidogo.
teaser. We could do a teaser. Okay, camera ni gani?
Kamera ni ile.
Okay. Listen. You had won my body, but not my soul. I'm saying you had won my body, but not my soul. So, listen. When you called me in the sherehe, when you said come, or did I come like the wind? When you called me a Miss Mary and booze like the mongrels and hounds, it was like they were after me. So I came running to you. But when you called me in the dark of night, when you were empty, when you were cold and in me you sought the pleasure of soul, I declined. I said, Abadan Katan. For you had won my body, but not my soul. Yeah.
Moto sana. Moto sana.
Yeah, so and I think one amazing thing about the experience is it talks about something that a lot of people relate to.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's going to be out of the ordinary, but the way it's been presented is in such a special way.
Yeah.
Like that poem was about the superficiality, how superstitious life can be and how we view life. And if there's no connection, and what does that mean?
Yeah.
So that's just an example of what you will be getting to see at the show. So
And beautiful voices.
Beautiful voices.
An
for sure.
amazing band.
Amazing. I mean, each and every one of these artists is actually gifted. Wachana talented, gifted in their craft. So I hope you'll get to come and experience that.
Yeah, watu wabuy ticket wakuze pale Carnival on 18th of October.
Yeah.
Manze tutakuwa pale na autopilot experience. Tutakuwa juu.
Aye, vibaya sana.
Autopilot.
I think by the time you get out, you'll be high on the experience. I would like to say.
Very. Now, when yeni fan wako, sijui kama wewe ni fan wake?
Yeah, I mean,
We are, every artist
you have to.
You have to.
You have to. Charity begins at home. So you have to support your own. Ndio ifikie wengine.
Sawa. Tukimalizia, maybe tell us some of those dreams that you guys are maybe working on. At least mtu akisikia anaweza kuwa inspired.
Personally, I'm working to get into the film industry. That's something, but again, not for the money.
Not for the money.
That is a very special thing. Usually, Siskengo Sanyo.
Actually.
I mean, yes, there's that, but also, I find it so cool of you.
I'm doing it for my mental health. I'm doing it for me, not just for the money.
And also, like for, acha tu nianzishe tu story ingine. Ever since I was small, I've always wanted to become a teacher. And then, of course, I grew up. It became a lecturer, and I think it's still a lecturer. But I realized that I don't have to be a teacher in class using like blackboards, whiteboards, smart boards to actually educate people. So right now, what I can is use my art to educate people and entertain people. So yeah, that's what I want to do. Because in film, you get to reach a bigger audience as compared to theater. Because unajua theater ni watu watakuja tu kuwatch like on stage or but for film you can even get to reach like an international audience. So my aim is to go into film to actually be a voice for someone somewhere.
Sawa. Yeah. At least that's very inspiring. For you, one of those things that maybe you're working on, you feel like ukiambia wase wanaweza kuwa inspired nayo tukimalizia.
Same thing. I previously said I'm a psychologist. So how do you talk about the human experience through art? Right? Checky. So that's it for me, really. Of course, hopefully I get to make a living out of it, unlike Karim's, but most importantly, I advocate for mental wellness. I advocate for just general well-being as a human being. So how do I do that through art? And that looks different. It could be looking at sexual reproductive health rights. It could be peace. It could be women's rights or children's rights. So because art is such a strong driver of change. And that's why I was listening to, I think to Trevor Noah, there's a special he did, and he was saying like, the very first thing that the dictators do is take away the art. You understand? So we understand the power that art has in all aspects of our lives. And so, in fact, I would urge more people to embrace art, even if you're not an artist per se, even as something you consume art, you know. I'm working on an EP. Yeah, I'm thinking come to EP, my album, and I'm actually looking forward
These are nice problems
to that. Right?
Unafikiria unasema niweke EP ama album?
I don't know. We'll figure that out. So I'm actually very excited about it, and myself. So I can't wait for you guys to also experience that once it comes. So that's something I'm actively working on right now. Yeah.
Sawa. So sasa tunamalizia, and you know, hapa KUTV Rise Today tuna a segment inaitwa Lines za Kikwetu, where we basically, you know, talk to our people wa kwetu using our mother languages. So to understand ile already just a piece inaweza kwa proverb, anything. Just unatupia tu lines za Kikwenu in your mother language.
Moraa?
Moraa.
Hapa kidogo mutanisamehea. Not because I don't want to, but I've grown up in the city and my parents are very keen on having me learn the language. However, I can say a few words. Neza omba maji, neza sema jina, you know, say ngaki, mbiore, and I think in terms of art, I remember this one song because sorry, I'm from the Kisii community. I mean, I think the name tells it all. I remember it went, oh bori baba bakiande keande, oh bori baba, oh bori baba bakiande keande baba motengana nyango eso ndindi. I'm not kissing.
Moto sana.
I feel like that was such a special part. That's as much as I would say a connection to my language in terms of my art.
Labda mtuambie tu kitu yenye mmeimba.
Something about porridge and my grandmother. Yeah, but it's such a famous song. It's such a famous song, I would say.
I've heard it.
I think that's one of the most famous Kisii songs out there. Yeah.
Tukuje kwako. Tell us lines za Kikwenu.
Okay. So half Embu, half Kamba. And just like Moraa, I grew up in the city. Okay, no, actually, I didn't grow up in a city. I actually grew up in town, but like not a
exactly
city. Yeah, not a city. But I grew up like in towns, Nakuru, Eldoret, Nairobi. But Beta kwa Karemi, and Ngwatelele Ndekabaluke.
Hey, nice.
Yes, nishikilie nsianguke in Kikamba, and then Beta kwa Karemi. That's my name is Faith.
Sawa.
Yes.
Wow. At least what I've learned. So that's Embu.
Yes, the Embu, and then there's Kamba part. Yeah.
Sawa. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Na tuta make sure watu wamekuja pale Carnival date 18th for the event, autopilot event. So that was it. Wazee tulikuwa na Faith na Purity amesema ni mwite Moraa.
Thank you.